Wow, that was fast. You can't hear me, right? And everybody's running in to put on subscriber only mode. Coffee, that's what I forgot. Good. So I wonder who Streets is talking about when he says toxic grannies. I did get ruffled by it, so that must mean that I think I'm a little bit of a toxic granny. But maybe not. I don't know. I mean, as bothered as I got by it, you figure because you are bothered. If you're bothered by something a lot, it usually means you're it. So, and it calmed down as I kept watching because I was watching his feed today. And, but it was like, oh crap, I don't want to become one. And the thing is, um, it's his opinion, but he's got good opinions. So it's like, I'm not going to say, I can get past that. I'm not a toxic granny. No, it's like, why does that bother me? He's a decent judge of character. I'm trying to fix my chat because it's too big. And unfortunately, Prism is a B word. So, yeah, I don't think he meant us either, but I'd love to know who he meant. Ah, I didn't go to the biker bar today. I don't even know if they had one. It didn't even show up. Yeah, I freeze for a second. It actually popped up. It pops up as an I these are not the droids you were looking for. These are not the grannies that are toxic. But like I said, bugged me a little, so it made me think about things that maybe I have times when I'm a little toxic. I need to think up. Um, and like I said, I think he's a decent judge of character, so things like that. Oh, no biker bar today. Oh, why did I think it was every day? Probably because every time I came across it. Okay, cool. Then I can remember tomorrow. Or at least until 11:45. Think I'm going to lunch with tomorrow with the Pops, but I'm going to take Papa Cat. That keeps us off the politics because I just can't help it. I don't know what is wrong with me sometimes. So let's see, notes. I watched the Jory Villa thing. See, I keep wanting to say Villa. That's why it's going to come out wrong. Um, because I had a two consonant in my family, so I always pronounce it that way, which is yeah, um, Spanish thing. So, but I think it's Joy Villa, right? So, like I said, I was watching that, and it didn't suck. It was actually pretty good. Um, Cubs is on right now. Oh, cool. Um, because I'm not anti-religious at all. Yeah, I had my moments too, Fuzz. Fuzz said that interview had me in tears. Yeah, I had my moments too. Um, because she seems real. This is one of those things. This is one of those moments where it's like, they don't have to watch me, but I can sort of appreciate them because yeah, she's the one with the Trump dress. And but who knows at this point she'd be like a lot of people are doing going mistake. So and she was in Scientology at the time for the first Trump dress. Yeah. So and she's flamboyant and loves the attention. So she could have been doing these things just for the attention too. So, but she seemed really cool. I don't know, just probably because she likes the show off side of things, the minor cosplay. And if you ask me, that's what every goth is like. So, and admitting it and figured out why she probably was never hyped up because she talked too much. So I thought it was a good interview. I actually wouldn't mind her being on with her again. I don't think I'll go to her channel. Um, but she didn't really even like stuff the Bible thumping thing down your throat. I actually had Bible thumpers as friends, and they knew I wasn't, so they kept it out. Of course, I've had also Bible thumpers harass me. I worked with one. Yeah. I don't think it's changed either. Hello, Papa Cat. We might be doing Ultifa tonight because unfortunately KA and I can't do it together because Kay still got school. So we're respecting the school aspect of it. So I asked Papa Cat if he wants to do it tonight. Hell, I should ask him if he wants to. Well, if we do it well tonight, then we can start doing a day too because it's like 7 days. I've got 2 hours. So I thought she was awfully religious and I'm a Christian. Um, Hi, Pam. While I finish my charting from yesterday. Okay. Um, from the outside, yeah, she dropped JC a couple of times, but it didn't seem like, well, towards the end I got a little weird because she dropped the Satanist thing. But until then, it's like her Scientology or ex-Scientology persona sticked out more than the Bible thumper. So, no, in 1989, 90, um, at one of the jobs I had, we had a Bible thumper and he thought I was a Satanist heretic. And at that time, weirdly enough, you couldn't, or especially back then, because, they were doing the whole, you have to be, religion, you can't fire someone because of their religion, blah, blah, blah. Hi, Adam. Top Chaz International Brand Ambassador for Fake Vomit. Laugh until you puke. Yes, I did that actually one of my first things. So, yeah, I had one Bible thumper who I think even went to the same church or used to go to the same church who was really nice, and I didn't even know she was Christian, yeah, a heavy duty one, until he started in on me. I don't know what lit the fire under his butt to start in on me, but he harassed me like crazy, calling me a Satanist, calling me a devil worshiper, why don't I like Jesus, all this other stuff. And I'm like, then the other one, she actually became my friend after that, came up and started blocking for him because people were too paranoid to fire Christians because of the, Jesus thing at the time. And they refused to do anything to me because it's probably the best one in the section. So, um and yeah, he made me goth. He made me cut my hair into a mohawk. Um because it was just so bizarre. It didn't bother me. It actually annoyed the heck out of me. And that's how it got put on swing, which made me happy because I went from a plebe to like a shift leader, which must have drove him crazy because he'd see me for 2 hours a day, and in those 2 hours he could not talk to me anymore. So you can hear him grumbling, literally, but he wasn't making like sentences. So it's like, no, I've gotten harassed by a real one until I mean Bible thumper, not Christian, a real Bible thumper until like about a month and a half in, when they figured, wait a minute, if we're supporting him, we could support her view on religion too. And so since I didn't have a view on religion, our boss could tell him, leave her alone. So, because at first they didn't know what they could do, because it was also first time I'd ever seen, it's the first time anybody had ever seen someone proselytizing to me and trying me to drop the devil and become a Christian. At the time I was, what, 22? And this was like at a major company. So that's why it was so hard. If it had been a smaller company, it'd been easier to get rid of him because he was harassing me. Um, because, that did exist in 89, 90, but bigger companies were a lot more paranoid about the whole religious aspect back then. But like I said, once somebody realized, wait a minute, we can support her lack of religious consciousness, and that's the way she wants to be. So that's how they shut him up. So, um, I think they finally put him on graveyard because I was thinking, no, they didn't because we would cross paths if he did. Um, no, actually, I don't know what they did with him. I just blocked him out after a while. Because the 2 hours he would definitely like um say look up something in a file next to me, and it was like I've had people harass me quietly forever. I don't mind that. So he never got to turn me to Jesus. Let's see, my dearest Bedelia, I have been 2 full days that we have lacked sugar, flour, coffee, and salaries. Therefore, I will ride Bocephus into town, will supper there, and return forthwith. What is that from? Hello, Clark. Is the evangelicalism mixed with the Trump support that got me? Trump is its own cult, so color me concerned for her. Um, it did make me think at one time that maybe she wasn't a Trumper anymore because cult, when she left Scientology, was able to realize that orange balloons is a cult too. So I feel like maybe she's not a Trumper anymore. But like I said, to me, she just dropped him in occasionally, but she was more listening and learning from Natalie. That's why I said I wouldn't mind them being on again. I think it'd be great, but I'm not going to go to her channel. So, and she had a book to promote, but that's the thing. It didn't seem very book promoty because she was talking to her own kind. So I'm sure other channels will be different. I know she went to Alex, but I didn't watch it. I didn't have time. So, because I was watching all of Aaron's from yesterday after the the Tony post thing, and then I came over to Natalie to watch hers. So it was like I saw um that Alex had done it, and then I wanted to see if it was him. He's got a long intro, and it's Marvel like. So it's like I went in to see if he really was um interviewing her because he said exclusive, and it's like it wasn't an exclusive. So that's why I wanted to see maybe he was replaying Natalie's. Um, so that's why I also didn't watch, or I'm not going to watch Alex's because it's like it wasn't an exclusive. I want to change that. So yeah, they had a good rapport. Definitely. Cobell for the Phineas seeds are just guitar Protestants. Hi, Cobell. She comes off as a devoted MAGA. She didn't mention the balloon, though. She said Trump dress. That was it. So I'm thinking that maybe she realized that Trump was a cult too, and now she's just not going to be political. We'll see if she shows up on Fox. Because one of the guys on the other side will cover it if she said something on Fox. But weirdly enough, I can forgive her of it when she's talking to Natalie. I liked the rapport was really good. So if she could just get off the Satanist thing, because that's what she called Scientology now. It's like, oh, hun, get off the Satanist thing. Uh, Bill says to Adam, the diamonds are both seeds and free and Feeneites, although they dislike the term Feeneyite and Father Feeney himself for some arcane reason. I'm not looking it up today. It's okay, so it's good to hear what you're perceiving as well. Yeah, I know. That's what it's like. No, I'm not a person who immediately goes, "Oh, Bible thumper, gross." No, I've I've been in the trenches in a very weird way. So it's like I don't have an automatic F off for people who are Christian or even super Christian. That's what I used to call them back then. So yeah, my like I said, it was just like maybe the last 5 minutes where she just sort of went poof. And that wasn't bad. So uh, hi Dove. She left the politics out, but she was very much still in the cult of mega, but they had an amazing rapport and she came across to me as very sincere. Yes, that's the thing. She came off as very sincere. So what we need to know from her, if she's interviewed by somebody, an ex, then great, Um, Aaron, Natalie, I'll go try to see Alex's because I'm not a big fan of his, but I'm trying because he's in this, in the network, trying. Um, so you know what I mean? It's like, and she's doing it with him and Tony Ortega, and I want to like him now too because we should all, learning from the balloon, we should all be more or less on center to our side instead of just our side sort of thing. So, but in the big breakup that's been happening for what happened last year and started kept going, there's only one person I regret. So I'm okay with the rest of them. So that's not bad. Let's see. It's not uncommon for folks to trade one high control group for another. Folks like or become accustomed to high control environments. That I do experience. What am I? Who do I know? 400 of my close. Actually, no. Now it's 200 of my closest friends. Um, Goth girl. Yeah. People always want to. And it was the reason I got the genealogy test was I wanted to be Mexican because I don't have a culture. Um, and the cousin whose dad is Scots Irish. Um, so she's white, looks white, white hair, you know, light brown eyes, the whole nine yards. And so one day she's asking me, she's like, "Well, why do you want to be Mexican?" I said, "I want a culture." She goes, "You don't want a culture?" And I'm like, "Yes, I do. I've grown up without a culture. I have more or less a culture with the goth people, but they can't stay here most of the time because they just can't afford it. And I wanted a heritage, and Native isn't really a heritage out here. Um, I'm going to start looking. There is a place in Oakland, but I didn't. That and I liked my cousins a lot. I wanted to be Mexican like they were. Um, and that's why I took the test. So maybe it was 23andMe. I should look it up. Um, and then when it came back, nope, because I was just like, at least I tried. I can relate to a Mexican culture because half my family is, or I should say thirds. A third of my family is Mexican. So a third of my family is white, and that's by my dad, who's my stepdad. And then a third of my family is Spanish and Portuguese snobs who are so snobby they don't even see each other. But that's the Colorado group. I've never been friends with them, so or with them. And she has very traditional Christian views of the occult. I'm used to that. Oh my God, I'm used to. I'm surprised nobody comes out when I go, or wear my ankh or talk about my altar. And, you know, it's like, that's really the one thing nobody has a problem talking about in San Francisco. They'll call you a Satanist. They will point and go, Satan. We point back and go, Jesus. Oh, so I think Satan is real and might have had something to do with Scientology. Well, Bill, my point of view is, since I don't believe in organized religion, I don't believe in Satan because he doesn't go to all of the religions. So, like the aggregate, there's no Satan, so I can't go to hell because there is no hell, sort of thing. Yes, you could say I'm living in my own bubble, but I've thought that way even with all the bad things that have happened in California. It was like, I just hope that bad people just go into a void and they don't come back. If they come back, um, and just have some kind of consciousness being stuck in a void. It could, I guess that would be hell, but I've always thought hell was Dante and, flames sort of thing. So, Trend. Hello. Greetings, fellow Scientologist monitors that come bearing billions of thetans cover out of my soul. Osa, they're thetans, and this one's a kid. Ooh. DM doesn't like things. Supposedly he's afraid of things. So, and I got these from Cheryl. So I'm getting them to do a happy dance every day because to answer Natalie's little Davy, this I will figure out something to do with being able to throw him over the side. This one will get dirty, so. So let's see. It's me. It's me. Oh my God, Fuzz. It's no, I don't talk to that person anymore. Even though I have to change my text app because I'm not getting Cricket or Dawn. They're two of the bouncers. Now I don't get two. So I'm just going to get a whole new um, text thing, make it the default, and then figure out a way to archive because my mom's on the text I use now. My mom's been gone for 5 years, so I don't want to lose those texts. It's sort of like how you keep a voicemail or back in the day, you'd keep the tape that somebody important, that was the last thing you heard. Um, so it's like, I have my mom. Unfortunately, I have my mom's last day too, which was just a bunch of garbled letters. But I have before that. I can get rid of that one. So let's see. The anti-Masonic Party were the first to have a presidential nominating convention. The anti-Masonic Party. Oh, yeah, it's one of those things. We haven't seen eye on our money. And still, it's never been taken off. Can you say, no, I can't say it now. The heck is it? The Masonics. What the heck is it? Robert Anton Wilson. What is it? Illuminati. Yes. So, running joke is the Illuminati still runs the world. And they all just want us to think that we're all separate countries or separate states or separate everything. We still have it on our money. You want to be a Mexican long heiress? He totally reminds me of my brothers. He totally does. Or my cousins. It's like when I was young and we all lived in the same city. Oh, yeah. Like I said yesterday, he would come up to me and push up the bangs and go, "What's playing today?" So, yeah. Uh, Linguiça or dishonor. How did you get this? C? Oh, it's easier nowadays, isn't it? It's because how'd you get that, like, language mark under the C? I have a Jonathan Alter? That was Adler. Still don't remember who it's for, though. Even though Papa Cat said yesterday, remember when? And I just gave him the look. Or don't you remember? And I'm like, he immediately apologized. Because me with brain fog will not remember. Seriously. So, one of the things is never say to me, don't you remember? And you immediately talk about trigger. I think it's the only trigger I have. So watch, they'll start coming out of the org next week going, don't you remember? And I'll just start singing the song. When we fell in love. Don't you remember the time when we first, the song, I can't remember. I didn't mean that on purpose, but it happened. When she said Scientology's superpower involves spell casting, I laughed. They might actually make progress if they knew what they were doing. The superpower, yeah. I haven't even looked at my notes yet. And it's 26. Oh God. The superpower thing, because Aaron said it yesterday too. The superpower like course thing is walking on a track and making circles and staring at a pole in the middle of this room with an LED for 5 hours a day in the white tracksuit. In she said good shoes. She said you buy them and then they go um they size them everything at the org. But yeah, could you picture that? I didn't get the lowdown on how many days it was, but she said days. Um, 5 hours a day in a dark room, staring at an LED. The track was circular or rectangular. That one is out there. That one is really, if it wasn't for the brainwashing, these people would be out, I think. So, yeah, that was Dawn, that was sort of when you knew she might bring up a Satanist thing. So when she was saying they'd be casting spells, and it's like, okay. SP word clearing and spell checking. That's what they did. So much of what she describes sounds like various forms of hypnosis. It does. Um, that's why I also think the balloons people are, you can hypnotize over television. So I wouldn't be surprised if it's a little bit of like suggestion sort of thing, that he has them and still has them, even though their country's falling apart, but financially. So lots of hypnosis in Scientology. I would expect it. I'm always able to transfer all of my texts to my new devices, even when I had Samsung. It's not transferring them, it's that they're on that app. I have the Pulse app and I need to make a new app. And I wouldn't trust it, honestly, to transfer my texts. And that's also why I've been trying to archive these, but I also keep getting distracted. Go figure. It's practically in my DNA. So I may just start it from the beginning, keep the Pulse on there because I have a 23 anyway. It's got like a gig of memory. So it'll put up with that until, um, or I'll do it individually. So I don't do hers. I know I've got it archiving somewhere, but I also have a lot of places that could be archived at because I have backups upon backups upon backups. Like I said, when your family builds the internet and you don't know where your dad works, you become used to making a lot of security. So, you have Verizon. I have, oh God, I can't remember. I think one place taken over by another place. I wonder if powerful Masons are still pulling the strings or if they have essentially achieved victory and retired. They're not going to retire though, technically. And yeah, the Masons would have retired a century ago. So no, I think they're passing it on. I have a friend of mine who is a Mason, but we don't talk about it. I don't want to be right when it comes up to these things. But he's been a Mason since I think it was probably 18. So I thought the Masons had modernized. I see that I caught the word from Bill. Um, so I thought they were going with it. The Discos Duminati. Oh my God. That's what the um, superpower level is a disco. It's Stuminati. Stuminati. Ah, everyone thinks like a modernist now. The Masonic Project is triumphant in the world and the counter church. Right. But I don't think they'd leave it alone. So I think they would make sure that they keep it up. And if nobody knows, Masons bring new people in all the time. Probably legacies. My friend's a legacy, so I wouldn't be surprised if it's legacies. And I had another friend who was a Job's daughter. So, and there was definitely like a underground, younger 20s adult thing going on there. I almost became a Mason or a Job's daughter, but they said they don't want me. Seriously, they said we don't want her. Make her stay in public. That was hilarious. So I've even been refused by the Illuminati. Um, let's see. Ada- So Bill said, Adam, who keeps the metric system down? Just read 30 days for the full scoop. 30 days. Was ist 30 days? Which, this is Adam and Bill. Okay, then Dawn said, that was the most ridiculous thing I heard all day, and I live with a 17-year-old that thinks she's an adult. Thing. That's what Dawn said. Okay, Chad, if you were having a mental break and you were told to watch a funny movie, what movie would you pick? We're not allowed to. Fuzz is in the Illuminati. She won't let us talk about it. Fuzz, are you in the Illuminati? You know, if you want to change the subject, that means you are. Crazy, stupid love? Ugh. Um, teenagers know everything. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Until that time a cop says, no, you don't. I was also equating witches with Satanists, or witches and Satanists. Her understanding of both groups is narrow and uninformed. It's classic, though. Religious brainwashing. Everything is brainwashing for real. It's just different places and times. So, fuzzy pink handcuffs, the in-laws with Peter Falcon. Oh God, serpentine. How many years did I say that? And watch Papa Cat say it tonight. Oh my God. Completely forgot. Thank you, Adam. Go to HE double hockey sticks. Dawn second, I prefer when people know what they don't know. Of course, I'm terrible hypocrite too. We all are, KA. We all are. I've been told a few times to get my self-righteous butt off of my stool. Toadstool. Um, Adam Weishaupt is my homeboy. I'm not looking it up. So stop, Adam. Dawn said Fantastic Mr. Fox Sisters, The Wild Robot, Netflix. Okay. Um, Time Bandits, it's my favorite movie. Don't touch that, it's evil. When his parents explode at the end. I was 13 when it came out. You said stool. Yes, I did. Stool, a stool. Lube. Anybody who's new? We'll learn that one it's gotta be so weird to have me, and especially when Papa Cat's here, just break out with that word. Oh, okay, now I can get to my list for real. Okay, I have time. Um, the email or the announcement. I took it the same way that Aaron did yesterday. That, you know, leave Scientology alone and go after DM, which is impossible in California. Like I said yesterday, way too many libel laws, way too many stalking laws. Hollywood made sure that all got fixed like in the 70s and 80s. So it's like I could never go after David Miscavige. All I could do was go after Scientology. I can't go after a specific person unless they're a personality. So that's why Baby Bufu can be like talked about because he has at least the TikTok. So, and he had over 1 million followers. So that makes him a personality. And they don't really have like real, they don't have laws yet on social media. So as long as I would refer to him as the social media person, I could go after him. So, but Dan doesn't have social media. He's only done one interview. So it's like, no, that kid, that and he's got pretty much a rolling dust ball of lawyers. So that's what I think of when I think of like things like that. It's like children all running to one spot and lawyers and doctors. It's like just the rolling ball of them somewhere. So, yeah, like I said, I took it the same way until he was talking about it later on yesterday, which I saw this morning. So it was like, okay, it wasn't the only person that did that. So, and it would have made rifts bigger than they are now. Gotta run, treatment time. I'll be back in 10. Okay. Uh, let's see. Dawn second, and I prefer when people know what they don't know. Okay, got that one. Fox, use it still. Gotta run. Yep. Okay. Radiate life, community, celebrate life, highs and lows. Hello, how are you today? In Clayton's nomination acceptance speech, he thanked Carol Quigley. It was like flashing the conspiracy bat signal, tempting to do. All the presidents used to say something stupid that you would expect. You're going to say that in public? I can't remember what Nixon said. I'll ask the brother. I'm sure Reagan did too. So that's the thing. They've got to, acknowledge their masters because, if you go by the conspiracy theory, not even just the Illuminati, but, everybody else is controlling everybody else. So it's how high you are in this place and that place. And I'm sure the minute you become a resident, except for this one, they would put you in a higher standing in whatever secret society you belong to. Oh, actually, that just made me think of something. Isn't Harvard the one with the super duper secret society that uh, Bush 1 was in? Why would they be? Maybe that's why he's messing with Harvard, because they wouldn't let him into the secret society. I gotta think of that one if Papa Cat does old Tifa with me tonight. It is Harvard, right, Adam? Come on, my therapy big giant head. It is Harvard, isn't it? And yes, I know way too much about Illuminati. I belong to the same cult that Robert Anton Wilson was in. I didn't get to meet him though. He was really sick when I was in it, so um no, I had never been approved to meet him yet. So I don't think he was even meeting people then at that point. He lived in Berkeley. So, and the branch I belonged to was on the border of Berkeley. So, okay, making notes for tonight. Because weirdly enough, I thought I was going to be the one who needed to have the notes tonight because KA is so close to graduation. And I always think that college just wants to torture you until the minute they can't torture you anymore. It's not like, you know, uh, regular school, the working to be educated school, the last week is usually nothing. Yale, that's a bummer. Oh, okay. Well, no fun. But I did thought that one of the Bushes went to Harvard. I loved Kay's her questions yesterday on the wheel because one of them was who went to Harvard or Yale that knew each other. And it's like one of them I think was Dennis Hopper. No, who was it? It was I didn't have the I try to carry this with me everywhere now. And when I start going to org, I'll carry this one with me because I can have this one open. But I didn't have it with me because I was hungry. So I pretty much ran downstairs and didn't bring my board with me. And yes, if you guys can, get a freaking landscape board. It is the coolest thing on the planet Earth. So, la 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 la. Both Bushes and John Kerry were in Yale. Okay, so they weren't in Harvard. Skull and Bones, right. You figure I'd remember that one because, it's the one all the goths want to be in who want a higher education. The Harvard Conspiracy Group's Lampoon. Yes, Dick Cavett was also Skull and Bones. Why am I not surprised? He was the driest person on the planet Earth, but the most interesting too. That was the problem. He was like Tom Snyder. It was like, for interviews, just dry as heck. But you sat there riveted the minute you started watching, and yeah. Andy Richter really does control the universe. I don't remember. I know that's probably something funny, but I don't remember it. I went to Washington University in St. Louis. Okay, cool, Clark. I didn't graduate from high school, and I haven't got my GED. And all of the big businesses I went to hated it because I always went through a temporary agency. So when they'd hire me on after I'd be on because of course the temp agency doesn't want to let you go if they know they're going to hire you. So I was usually with the temp agency for 6 months. So by the time I got to the company, they'd find out I wasn't educated, and then they would go, "Well, you need to get your GED," and I'm like, "Okay," and then never did. Al Gore and Tommy Lee Jones, right? Those two with the roommates. It's like, wow, you would never think that Tommy Lee Jones went to Harvard. He totally redid his image. So he, it was like, well, he's not a nerd. He's probably one of the biggest nerds on the planet. So Leslie Gore and Ricky Lee Jones, for real? Where? There's no Bush family going to Yale since 1844, right? He's one of those persons. Um, even if everybody came over on the Mayflower that they say it'd be bigger than the Titanic. I study at Econ. Econ? Huh? It's Lorelei. Who's Lorelei? Okay. I once bought Lefebvre and ice cream. He wanted a cone. Lefebvre? Lefebvre. Hmm. That isht was wild. God, does anyone speak English anymore? The only reason I know English is because I had speech. That's why he bought those white gloves. Okay. Back to my Dvock turned off the paywall so you actually can read everything. So he actually has a chance because he listened. So he said you can contribute in other ways, but he did turn off the paywall. So I need to go look at it. So, um, because I was sort of bummed when I saw his picture because I thought he was somebody else. And when I saw his picture, I was like, oh, because he was cool in one of the movies or Aftermath or whatever it was. And it was like, great. The one, one of the ones I liked is total, wants all the money in the planet. And like, when you turn it off, that pretty much made me go, cool. So that was a good thing. Can't do DM. I don't know what that meant. 200 auditors in a new building, no changes of revenue. I know it has to do with the same price being 20 years ago and now. Mm. Oh, that's why you buy the white gloves. I didn't attend my high school graduation, only got one present, but it was a doozy. You got a car, didn't you? You got a vintage car. That's what the 16-year-olds, and I think 18-year-olds, uh, at my high school, because it was the richest high school in Oakland, because usually it was people had been kicked out of the private schools in the city and didn't their parents didn't want to send them to a boarding school. So a lot of kids got uh, vintage cars because it's the East Bay for their 16th and their graduation. My parents wanted to get me an Alpha, but I said no because then if I got my driver's license, I'd be the one who has to drive all the time. I was a stubborn brat when I was a kid. Some friend of a friend had 14 Alphas and was willing to sell one for me. So, hmm, excuse me, stewardess, I speak. Oh, don't you think we didn't say because we're from Oakland? Excuse me, I speak jive. Oh, I did embarrass me a little. Oh my God. Fan. Scooter Mom said yesterday that you can hear it if it's too close to the mic. So I'll never be over Macho Grande. Surely you can't be serious. I am serious, so don't call me Shirley Bassey. Oh my God, that one's good. Oh, you want to talk about the most quoted movie of my life is Airplane. Oh, and don't you think we didn't use Jive Ass Turkey and Got No Brains anyhow when somebody was just dumber than a box of rocks? So, it's, oh my God, no, I don't think I'll ever get over Macho Grande. These wounds run pretty deep. Adam. So, what did Clark say? It was a digital watch from my uncle in Switzerland. Woo! Unlike me, his son required tutoring so he could pass his tests for college. He saw the cheaper car I drove. High school. Well, that was the thing also, is that people in the flatlands didn't get cars for 16 and graduation. So even, it's like everybody who had a license pretty much had a car. That's why we had 3 parking lots. But we are also the only closed campus in Oakland because I don't know how that high school got put there. Some weird tax scheme, because around the school were $1 million houses in the 80s in very fancy neighborhoods. So, because it was on Skyline Boulevard. So it was the only closed campus. They were not going to let the riffraff out of school. So they probably saved their parents a ton of money too on lunches. Yeah, so nobody had a truly junker. Everybody's car ran. But I think it also has to do with the East Bay because you have a lot more people who paid attention to your cars. My mom was really upset when cars had to be serviced through the computer because one of the famous stories of my mom, we were going to school or we were going to church. Something happened, maybe a spark plug or something. My mom changed from her church outfit to her coveralls, fixed whatever was wrong, and then went back in and put her dress back on. So it was like my mom was not happy when cars evolved because of course my dad's like, no, you have to get a new car. Tack, 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 tack. So uh, we listened to her complain for about a year of that she can't do anything with that car. And then after that, we teased the hell out of her. But yes, the digital watch, especially if you're like in our age, was beyond cool. I've actually seen old Casios out there, and there's still a Casio for nerds, um, being advertised. The ones are just the red numbers, and then the ones with the calculator below it. It's like kids are liking those. Kids are starting to go back to watches. Classic, huh? I'm mad. Thank you for letting us know, KA. Go hover over there. Ah. So yeah, no, I don't think I saw at the end of last year, Christmas time, people were talking about they wanted their digital watches, and somebody was showing off their old Casio that was just the let numbers. And one of the people that I watch on another channel has an old like red LED watch, and it's like it's so funny. It's like, really, guys? But then again, most of the people I know actually wore their digitals till they died. So I was the one who had more watches when I was a kid because I was the one who uh, wanted uh, a Cinderella watch and a Mickey Mouse watch. So now I think at the peak I had about 100 watches. So I have given away probably half of them. The only problem is that batteries are designed now to go out after a year, and it's not cheap to change a watch. And even on my Mickey Mouse watch, that one has to be pressurized, so that one costs a fortune. And it's like maybe that's why I started going to these or to this without complaining much, because it's a total scam now, because changing a battery in a watch costs at least $20. So you have 50 watches. It's like, you had a Pac-Man watch? Cool. My brother had the calculator watch when we were in elementary school. It's not the super nerds, because we didn't really have super nerds in high school, but the I guess you could say the precursor to the tech boys, the ones who wanted to be architects, the ones who wanted to be like computer programmers, that's what they called them. Um, Ones who wanted to be professors, they had the calculator watch. So it was, yeah, and they definitely acted like I'm the shit. I have a calculator watch. So, and knowing Papa Cat, he probably had one too. I think he showed me or told me he had one. So not only did he have the voice, he had the really cool watch too, because they weren't cheap. Those things were expensive back then for a kid's watch, quote unquote kid's watch. You know, you didn't get a really good watch if you were, still a kid. Poor Hirohito was given a Mickey Mouse watch. He was buried with it. I would believe it actually. I would actually believe that because it's Mickey Mouse. You don't mess with the mouse. So it's why I didn't like Minnie Mouse for the longest time. Because the joke was that bitch stole my mouse. I really don't have many things that's Minnie. Before Hello Kitty, it was Mickey Mouse. So even a friend of mine, oh, where is, oh, it's up there. A friend of mine, when he went for Goth Day, he got me a pink Mickey Mouse hat with my name on it. So yeah, before HK, it was the mouse, which drove everybody crazy too. It was easier to get things by the mouse. I still have measuring spoons by him with him, which makes the kitchen very schizophrenic with HK and the mouse. I had a pretty much red and black color scheme for the longest time, because when they started putting things out, I guess when the Disney store started opening, and they weren't stupid, so I had Looney Tunes and or Warner Brothers and Mickey Mouse. Really wasn't in anybody else except for Tigger, of course. You know, the cat on speed, um, or the hyper cat. If he didn't sleep, I didn't sleep. You're hearing all the excuses when I was a kid. So I had that going, and then, HK came in and that took care of that. I figured the mouse could be supported by the other 50 million people. Let's see. Uh, oh yeah, so the explanation for Aaron's person is a recent defector. That's where he's getting his info from. So, and he said there'll still be more. So, because it was like, I don't remember what it was, who it was. It was a recent defector. He said that yesterday. Um, oh, and Russia is officially banned, but not officially or unofficially gone from Russia. So it was funny. Aaron did this whole section about nobody's still proving to me that Russia is gone, but I found out this. So he's still like, anybody from Moscow or St. Pete's, get a hold of me. So growing up in Scientology at gmail.com, if anybody is and is watching this in the background somewhere. So, uh, oh, Enjoy Villa's mom was paranoid schizo. And I understand that because the oldest brother was too. So when she was explaining it, it was like, oh yeah, I've been there. My oldest brother wound up in temporary hold because he was yelling at two um construction guys he thought were aliens. So it's really hard when it's that bad to deal with people. I couldn't do it because unfortunately he would start screaming at me. That's when he found out there was something wrong with him when I was 16. Because all of a sudden he started screaming at me, and my bio dad walks into me cowering in a corner and him screaming at me about God. I don't even remember what. So that's when the bio dad realized that the oldest brother must have something wrong with him. So I had one good year when he almost killed himself. He almost gassed himself out with WD-40. He was fixing touring bikes as his hide thing because during the summer he would bike. During the winter he was a ski instructor. So he was doing it in his room. He was in a like dorm halfway house something, and he forgot to open his window, and he wound up gassing himself and was revived. And when he was able, or when he could talk again, because he had tubes, kidney, everything, and he was okay. It was the not okay, okay, but not as crazy as that. And I got to see him every week for about a month. We go to lunch every week. Um, and a year into it, I came in, and by the end of lunch, he was screaming at me. And I was so bummed. I was really bummed. It was like I had my brother for a month. And that day when I was going home was when I rescued the dog on the freeway. There's a dog running around on the freeway. All the cars are stopped. There are two women trying to get this dog. And I stopped in the middle and said, I'll try to open my back door because he was running towards me. Open my back door and went, does anybody see him? And they're like, no, no. So I'm like, okay, maybe I'll just move my car. And he's in the front seat looking at me. I'll be able to show you one of these days. I have a picture of it because I took a picture of him in the front seat. Um, and I was like, I'm not sitting in no back seat. This is, I already knew I was a dog person. That's why I pulled over. So I said, I have him. And then I took him to the fire department and they found out where he belonged. He had escaped from his yard, uh, in Kentfield. And Kentfield is right next to 101. So I guess he got out of a back door and then wound up on the freeway. And it's one of the times I became unhinged because the dog sitter showed up and I went off. I went off on her. The dog didn't see me. He was inside with the fireman, getting some fireman action. And I was just like, what the hell is wrong with you? So yeah, I remember that whole year because I got to see him every Wednesday for a year. And the last day I rescued, I can't remember his name. I think we just wind up calling him Dog, and I have the picture. So it was like, I miss him and I understand what she went through because he was schizophrenic. Um, so it's like, I get how she could wind up in Scientology. I really do. If that was apparent, it would be hoof. I don't know if I could have put up with that. So, but yeah, that was one thing. That was one of my notes is telling people Um, that Joy's mom was paranoid schizophrenic because it also explains, Lois point that Scientology is famous for getting you in. So, when you were young, you wanted to be an archetype. You're working on it, big giant head. I don't want to be a living fossil like my grandmother. Um, Last week, my last remaining quote unquote mom, chosen mom in the world, she went with dignity. So she had cancer. It went to her brain. That's why I got mad. That's why I got mad at the person who was pulling the I have cancer. Can I go for the lower price on Monday? It's because of mom. She died with dignity because her cancer spread to her brain, and she was like, "Oh hell no!" So she passed away last week. Um, but yeah, me too. It's like if it gets to where I'm uh stuck in bed, no. My grandmother had to live with not talking for a year, um, and not being able to write. A stroke got her like that, and she lasted a year afterwards. And it was a shame because you knew she knew what you were talking about. Um, so yeah, me. Mm-mm. Do what they do a lot of, because it's how they used to do it back in the day, because a friend of mine chose to die too back in the AIDS era, was the doctor gave him a lot of sedative, heavy duty sedative. I can't remember what it was. And he said, don't ever take blah 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 blah. That's not good for you. You'll do damage. You won't be here anymore, blah 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 blah. But that's how they used to do it. They used to tell you what not to take so people would know. So, definitely want to do that too. Not sticking around to being a living fossil either. Mm-mm. If they don't have any sunscreen, the Eastern Europeans should be easy to spot in Clearwater. Actually, they're easy to spot in San Francisco. Like I said, I didn't put one and one together and realize that um San Francisco org probably has a lot of Russians too. And I just got to figure out when they all show up. Unless they're doing, Zoom or something, I wouldn't be surprised. So eventually everybody can get a tan. One of the fiance's best friend was Ukrainian like him, Ukrainian Jew, but he tanned because it was the 80s, so he's like one of those 80s Miami Vice guys. I don't know how he did it, and I forgot to ever ask how in the hell he did, because he was as white as my ex-fiance, and my ex-fiance was paper white. It's like, no, you can teach yourself how to get a good tan. Crazy, I know, but actually no fuzz. If we do Old Tifa tonight, it's going to be at 8. So, I do it at 7 for Carrie Ann. If I'm going to do Old Tifa at night, it's going to be night Old Tifa. So it'll be more of a um nocturnal thing. Because if I get the big little brother here tomorrow, it'll be after 8 or 9. So it's like I don't expect my mods from here to go over there. I'll be able, I'll be watching it more. Um, and if Papa Cat can watch it. So it'll be took it away. Thanks, dear. Yeah, repost it at 8. Thanks. That way we can all see dinner. Big hug fuzz. Clark says, just Altiva now. Ah, yeah, I know. Papa Cat hasn't said anything. So are we doing Altiva tonight, Papa Cat? He's going to say he wasn't paying attention. He was what people used to call an old China hand. I've never heard that. An American or Englishman who lived in and understood China, which is more than I ever could until recently. I've never heard the phrase. I'm still laughing at Fuzz. because it's like, but no, it's not going to be this time. You are? Okay, cool. So yes, we're going to do it at 8. We're not going to sit together. He's going to be sitting over on the side. And we're really going to have that talk about politics. So clocked out, but got her onto the story. 17-year-old self-described adult needs mommy to get. I know, at least in our generation, we pretended, or when the minute we turned 18, it was like, don't help us unless it was with the utilities. So, yep, yep. I got that too, because at 17, I was doing that too. I'm an adult, but mom, ciao, sweetie. Maybe see you tonight, 8 o'clock. So, oh, I'm over an hour, so I got it. Didn't even get down to all my notes. Well, the one I can't actually say is no wonder the Sea Orgs look fit if they're wandering around for 5 hours around a track because yeah, that's like doing real exercise, that and like working on the farm and paving roads and that'll keep you fit looking, not necessarily fit. So let's see. Oh, Mike's siblings could cook by the time we were 8. Your siblings could cook by the time you were 8 years old because none of us could agree on what to eat for every night. The one thing about my parents leaving me alone in the middle of the night because they drank too much, I could cook. Could do rice. I could do pasta. I could do, and we knew somebody at MJB, so we got rice and packets. I can make those fish sticks. I could use the oven because TV dinners. Yeah, so I can do that. I just choose not to. And Papa Cat likes to cook. So if which is we were going to have time. I want what we're going to we got from HelloFresh tonight. No, I'm not. Ugh, anyway, okay, guys. Dusty, I'm leaving. Foggy, I have a question. Would you and Papa consider coming out here December 5th? What's December 5th, dear? We consider it if you could get me on an airplane. I mean, it is the winter in Florida, which means I won't sweat that much. Florida's the only place my body sweats. Actually, I think Louisiana does too. Well, Louisiana is where it's perspiring in 32-degree weather. So, what is December 5th for? And it's not going to carry the question is for you also. Hmm. Nothing puts me on the spot. I've been working way too long in clubs to have something put me on the spot. So, email us and let us know what's going on. And then, I'll out you the next day. But I am leaving, sweetie. So you can watch Old Tifa tonight, 8 o'clock Pacific. Oh God, yes. Yes. I can say yes. It's your birthday on December 5th? Oh, wow. So I can say that me and Papa Cat will be there because I haven't pulled a vacation out of my butt yet. So I would like to do that. So definitely email us with ideas you guys have. So as Fuzz is saying, because that's what the pyramid emoji's for, is get your butt off your feet. Yes, I have figured that out, Fuzz. So me and Papa Cat will be doing Old Tifa tonight at 8 o'clock Pacific. I'm not doing the ABC mountain and is it Mountain Central and Eastern? You guys can figure it out. Well, we will talk about politics and other stuff because Lord knows last week Carrie Ann and I opened up with what fit or didn't fit or makeup or something. So, okay, people, I'm out of here tonight, tomorrow at the same time, unless Scooter Mom pulls one. I'll have to email her. Okay, guys, so I will see you later, okay? Ciao, Bellas.